All right, guys, today is our final chapter for our 7 Winchester short mag brass test. We have fire formed, already shot it once, and like someone said in the comment, the only true way to see if that brass is worth the darn is to test for accuracy. So that's what we're gonna do today. I just put this SWFA scope on, so we're gonna do a little sighting in, and then we'll see how accurate of groups we can get. All right, guys, we're gonna use the 3-shot sight in. I'm gonna use some of these other rounds, not the ones I'm testing with, to get sighted in. I did forget my bag, so we're gonna have to improvise, and we'll go from there. 27.76, and we're on paper. We might have just pulled off the old 1-shot 0. If you guys enjoy the content that we're coming out with on this channel and you appreciate the work that's being put in, it would really mean the world to me if you guys would please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Got a bunch of awesome things coming down the pipeline, and now back to the 7 Winchester short magnum. We're going to go to 100 and shoot some group and get some data to see if we have some good loads or not. We're shooting a 195 Burger EOL, and we'll shoot some groups. We're gonna shoot the high target now. Yeah, we're a little off. That's okay, we're still low. We're just gonna shoot for groups on this one though. 27.86. 27.87. 27.76. 27.95. We are getting some pretty good pressure signs actually. Might be a little hotter load than I want. Let this cool down for a sec. All right, guys, starting to trickle down a little bit, so we're just letting this barrel cool down. If you guys haven't seen part 1 or 2 to my 7 Winchester short magnum brass videos, this is kind of our finale of that. I was going to mention this in the last section. The reason I'm doing this is I'm shooting 270 Winchester short magnum brass, and I resized it to 7. And we're just trying to test and see if we can't get any accuracy out of this. That's a large problem with the 7 Winchester short magnum. There's not a whole lot of brass out there, unfortunately. I gotta be honest, I think the 7 Winchester short magnum is right there with the 7 PRC. I'm sure a bunch of guys are gonna cry about my speed and say how they're getting so much faster. Again, remember, I'm shooting a 195 Burger at 27, almost 2,800 feet per second. Yes, this barrel's probably a little bit longer than most, but it's right there keeping paces with that 7 PRC. So I think we're gonna shoot a 10-shot group on this. So far, I'm sure you guys have already seen that we're getting a heck of a group, so we'll just keep on going and see how we do. All right, guys, we shot 1 through 4. We're gonna shoot 5 through 8 now, and hopefully we keep them pretty tight. 28.08, still 28.07. I think that one was a little low, and I'm gonna be honest, I think that was on me. Not trying to make any excuses up. We'll still take all shots into account. 28.12. 2,800. Still looking like we're shooting a pretty darn good group. So starting to trickle again. We'll let this cool down, shoot 2 more shots, and go from there. All right, guys, we're gonna shoot our last 2. Got a pretty awesome group down there for a big old magnum, and hopefully we can keep them tight. 27.94. I'll tell you what, for a 10-shot group with the magnum, I'm pretty impressed with that. All right, guys, let's dive right into this group here. That bottom shot was our 25-yard sight-in shot, and then I adjusted. I was actually holding for this top target, and we shot the group below. I didn't really want to adjust. I just wanted to go for group on this one. I ended up shooting a 10-shot group for you guys. I know for all you 20 shot group haters, I get it, but there's not really any way to determine your bullet holes once you start getting over 10. And even if you have a tighter group, you're gonna have a heck of a time getting all 10 in there. So we ended up with a 0.41 mean radius, which is a heck of a group for a Magnum like this. If you're going old school, I believe it was a 0.92 MOA group. Hell of a group, super excited about that. If we dive into the ballistic speeds here, we got an average of 2796, so about 2,800 feet. That's on a 12-shot group. I added these top two in. We had an extreme spread of 36, which is not the greatest. I understand that, but with a group like that, it's pretty hard to complain. And a standard deviation of 9.6, so 10. Honestly, the reason that I conducted this test is I am necking up 270 Winchester short magnum brass. It's Norma brass. So just really wanted to test and see if we could get anything decent out of it. And with a group like that, I don't think you can go wrong. So if you guys end up happening to see a 7 Winchester short magnum on the shelf at a cheap price and you're worried about brass, yeah, you're probably gonna have to reload for it. I will admit that, but I would not be half tempted or scared to pick up that rifle. You can neck up some 270 or even neck down some 300. We might test that next. Honestly, if you just want a 7 PRC in a short magnum, honestly, not a bad option to go with that 7 Winchester short magnum. All right, guys, just a little update here at the end. I didn't realize I misspoke. The group size was actually 1.4 MOA, which is a little bit worse than what I thought it was. But for 99.9% of everyone's hunting scenarios, that is going to be more than enough accuracy for any hunting scenario, well within probably 600 or under. But then again, also, if you guys just looked at that 5-shot group, that's why you don't just look at that. I'm sure it was well under sub MOA. So I'm really not disappointed in the group size still. I would have liked to see a lower extreme spread. That 36 is a little bit higher than what I would have liked. The SD is okay, but maybe that's from that Norma brass. Maybe it's from the powder. Again, it's been quite a while since I've shot. So maybe that's a little bit part of the group size, not going to lie. It seemed like the more we shot, the more it opened up. But then again, that's why you go with a 10-shot group instead of a 5-shot group. But I did pick up some 300 Winchester short magnum brass in Lapua. Maybe we'll test that next and see if that gives us that lower extreme spread and go from there. My final conclusion, though, is that if you guys have a 7 Winchester short magnum or you're thinking about building one or picking one up, honestly, I would not be terrified because there's not very many brass options. There's more and more coming out all the time with Lapua, Peterson, all these other options. Yes, you're going to have to do a little resizing yourself, but you really can't go wrong. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you would, please like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.